I can reach the stars, pull one down for you, shining on my heart, so you could see the truth. And this love I have inside is everything it seems, but for now I find it's only in my dreams that I can change the world. I will be the sunlight in your universe. You would think my love was really something good, baby, if I could change the world. If I could be king, even for a day, I'd take you as my queen. I'd have it no other way. And our love will rule this kingdom we have made. Till then I'd be a fool, wishing for the day that I can change the world. I would be the sunlight in your universe. You would think my love was really something good, baby, if I could change the world. Baby, if I could change the world. I could change the world. I would be the sunlight in your universe. You would think my love was really something good, baby, if I could change the world. Baby, if I could change the world. Baby, if I could change the world.
All right, good evening to all of you, and thank you all for coming. My name is Lynn Atkins, and it's my honor to be the ceremony for this evening. And we're going to start everything with the Pledge of Allegiance, so if you would all stand now that I have you seated. Please take the flag, and I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Now you may be seated. We won't do this all night. It is my honor to do this for the Upper Dublin Medal Program. I've done it in the past, and it's always a thrill to be asked to come back. This is the 27th year, and every year it gets better, it gets bigger, and it gets more exciting. And I'm always so impressed that every year there's not a problem finding people to give these honors to. It's a problem to weed out all of the good people because there's so much talent in Upper Dublin, and it's really a blessing. We're very fortunate there. These awards are given out by the Upper Dublin Education Foundation, the School District of Upper Dublin, the Township, and the Fort Washington Business Alliance. And it's a fundraiser, and it's for a group dedicated to the students of this township, and there's not much better than the students of this township. I'd like to introduce you to some of the people who make this event such a fabulous success. And we're going to do something a little differently. I'm going to introduce the people, they will stand up, and they will remain standing until everyone has been introduced. Then, at the end, we will applaud. And if we do it this way, it goes faster, we can give out the awards quicker. Okay? So back to training which is really fast. So I will start with names, so you will stand up, and you will stay standing, and if you get your name read first, we'll go through it as quickly as we can. Art Labinowitz is president of the Upper Dublin Education Foundation. Pam Ryan is development director of the Education Foundation. Robin Cox, event fundraising chair. He's not here this evening, but we would like to recognize him. Paul Leonard, manager of Upper Dublin Township. Lorraine Narducci, executive assistant to the township manager. Dr. Michael Plattis, superintendent of the school district. Katie Braun, executive assistant to the superintendent. Susan Lohuffer, facility and community affairs manager for the school district. Gregory Gast, president of the Fort Washington Business Alliance. Kathy Disk, coordinator of the Fort Washington Business Alliance. We got lots more, you just wait. Now, I did mention this is a fundraiser. That means we rely very heavily on a lot of people who give very generously, and we really want to thank them. Have them stand, join our group. Tony Nichols of Liberty Property Trust, unfortunately couldn't be here tonight, but Liberty is a presenting sponsor, so I did want to mention him. George Andrigian of Dreshertown Shop and Bag. Walt Tillman, Vantage Point Bank. Kathy DeMarco, Ambler Area YMCA, Fort Washington Wellness Center. Peter Jacobs, URS Corporation. Jacobson? Sorry. Well, that makes sense. Thanks. Joseph Ball, Citizens Bank, the Government Banking Division. Alan Paston of Jaguar Press. Bill Parshall, Temple University Ambler. John McEnany, Timothy Knox. I also want to thank Mary Dwyer, who is the general manager of Manufacturers Country Club. She is not here this evening, but I did want to mention how much work she's done and how much it is greatly appreciated. Linda Howard, the banquet manager, is here and has already been in trying to help out, and thank you very much for your help. We appreciate it. Also, the Ambler Gazette, for all the wonderful coverage they have given to this event and all of the press they give to our winners. We really do appreciate that. Now, every year, we're very fortunate to have a number of people come back who have won these awards in the past, and they come back to show support and just to be part of this fabulous event. I would like to mention some of them. Our former students are with us tonight. We have Richard Roth, the first student winner, 1985, who is now an Upper Dublin resident. Jenny Chen and James Stein, 2010 winners, are here with us, if you would please stand. And we also have some former educator winners joining us tonight, including one of my golf partners, Bill Rose, 1990, a good golf partner. Judy Ann Sennell, 1994. Patrick Redican, 1998. Jamie Fioramonti, 1999. Sounds like a lot of people are not here this evening. They're still out enjoying summer. Hey, Pat. Cheryl Fioramonti, 1999. Cheryl Hall, 2000. Kelly Campbell, 2002. David Waltman, 2005. Mary Jane Coons, 2006. Randy Windheim, 2007. And Barbara Staller, 2008. And we also have some former Citizens winners with us tonight. Bob Danaher, 1995. Time to stand up. Rich Rulon, 1998. Peter Blood, 1999. Bill Gift, 2002. Ingrid Ribble, 2005. Sherry Rivers, 2008. Mark Lutman, 2010. And we also have several of our business and nonprofit organization winners here tonight. Again, when I say your name, please stand up. We're almost done, and we can get you applause. George Andrigian, George's Dreshertown Shop and Bag, 1997, we mentioned him. Greg Deal, business winner, 1998, was unable to be here. But let me introduce his wife Sue Deal and son Carl Deal, who are here. You would please stand. Bill Parshall, Temple University Ambler, we mentioned, 2003. Alan Paston, Jaguar Press, 2004. Robin Cox, Usance Realty, 2005. Tony Nichols, I mentioned, of Liberty Property Trust, 2006, unfortunately unable to be here. Frank Meller, representing the UDJAA for 2007. Bob Raines, representing the Ambler Gazette for 2009. Jill and Ron Feldman of Greenfield Foundation for 2010. If anyone has snuck in that I didn't know was here and I didn't mention you, now would be a really good time to stand up and stand where you are and say, I didn't mention you. This is for our four winners. If you would please give them a round of applause. And now it's time, I told you to be quick this way, now it's time to start the presentation. So may I introduce Bob Pesavento, please, for the very first presentation.
I first met Jules Molstein in 1988. And 3 years later, we both decided to run the Township Commissioner. After we were elected, as was the tradition on the board at that time, the newest members sat on opposite ends of the dais. Jules and I said that before we left the board, we would meet in the middle. And 10 years after we were first elected, we did meet in the middle. While on the Board of Commissioners, Jules focused on land planning, library, parks and recreation, while I focused on finances and public safety. We were able to impart upon each other the knowledge gained by our divergent areas of interest. The township owes thanks to Jules for his shepherding of the first ever comprehensive plan for Upper Dublin. This is a true blueprint for Upper Dublin's land use. And one of our first initiatives on the Board of Commissioners, Jules and I worked with Rich Rulon to put in place an ethics ordinance to guide the commissioners and staff. With this in hand, and Jules' absolute devotion to open government, the residents have been assured of the board acting for the good of Upper Dublin. We have had our disagreements over the years, policy issues, but I'm proud to call Jules my friend. So let me introduce to you the recipient of this year's Upper Dublin Outstanding Citizen, Jules Molstein.
Congratulations to all the winners tonight, Sarah and Bill, Mr. Santangelo, and Steve. I would like to say more about you, but I'm a teacher with a 2-minute time limit. I want to thank all of you for being here tonight, especially my family. I thank my mother-in-law, Phyllis Applebaum, for moving into Upper Dublin in 1967 so I could meet Ruth at Sandy Run. My sisters-in-law, Candace and Charlotte, are here. And the rest of my family here are Upper Dublin grads. My sister Florence, my brother-in-laws Marty and Steve, my niece Rachel, and my children who came in from New York and Chicago. Thank you so much for being here, Mom and Dad. Really appreciate it. And of course, there's my wife, Ruth. Thank you for always being there for me in good times as well as bad. This award means so much to me. Many of you know that I've lived more than 50 of my 56 years in Upper Dublin Township, and I have received so much from this community. So the award title is Citizen of the Year. Justice Louis Brandeis said in 1937 that the only title in our democracy superior to that of president is the title of citizen. So, what would a citizen of the year do if they had the ears of the community and the elected officials for 2 minutes? Well, I'll cover 2 points. First, what I as a citizen would urge my local elected officials to do. And second, what I as a citizen knowledgeable in government would urge or expect of my local elected officials. I urge my former colleagues, the township commissioners, to do whatever is necessary to solve the flooding problem in the office park, to protect the long-term tax base of this township. Now, although the school boards are my bosses, I'll speak as a constituent and not as an employee. I urge the school board to raise all of the taxes that are possible under Act 1, because that affects how much we can get in the future. The school district should be able to replace retiring teachers and not increase class sizes and reduce class choices. Second, I expect my elected officials to be open-minded enough to listen to all opinions and the reasons behind those opinions. But I do not expect them to sacrifice their judgment for the opinions of their constituents, even mine. That is the essence of a healthy representative democracy. Now, some have said this is my Lifetime Achievement Award. Well, for those of you who think or hope that I'm going to shut up and fade away, let me quote the immortal words of Monty Python. I'm not dead yet.
Tough act to follow. I'm glad that I didn't have rules for government. In today's environment of shrinking budgets and the continued urbanization of our suburbs, the burden to provide safe, wholesome recreational activities for our kids is falling more and more on the shoulders of our youth athletic organizations. As a coach, parent, and ex-collegiate athlete, Harry Santangelo recognized very early on the value that organized sports play in the positive development of our kids. As the owner of PMC Mechanical, Harry saw an opportunity where private enterprise could help fill some of the financial voids. Over the years, PMC has donated more than $250,000 in materials, service, and labor to make this community a better place. I would note these donations were not limited to the sports programs he so ardently supports. In the 1990s, PMC Mechanical helped the North Hills Community Centers believe in the magic building renovation by completing at no cost the clean-out replacement of the facility's heating and mechanical systems. The Spark Athletic Complex, one near and dear to my heart, is recognized as one of the finest facilities in this area. Thousands of kids from kindergarten through high school and even college have had the opportunity to play a variety of sports there. PMC Mechanical has played an integral and major role in the development of this complex. The snack bar, bathrooms, storage, and team rooms, in essence, the field house itself, would not have been possible without Harry's dedication, contributions, and yes, hands-on labor. I can't stress enough how important it was for the youth football program to have access to a full-service snack bar that now provides a significant revenue stream to help defray the cost of such an expensive program. It's tough. It's hard to find money these days, and youth sports programs are dependent upon things like snack bar revenue and donations. I'm always honored when asked to present an Upper Dublin medal. This year, however, is extra special because I'm inducting a friend who shares my passion for youth athletics. Time constraints have only allowed me to provide a snapshot of the many contributions Harry has provided to the Upper Dublin community. So that being said, it is now my pleasure to welcome this year's Upper Dublin Medal for outstanding business, the owner of PMC Mechanical, Mr. Harry Santangelo.
very much. Thanks, Joe. If I didn't say all those kind words, I'd address them. It really is an honor to be recognized by neighbors and friends. But quite honestly, this effort has been more an application than anything else. I've been involved in youth sports for almost 40 years, 30 in Upper Dublin, and it's been a great ride. More than anything, the greatest honor that I could get from all of you folks is the fact that you have allowed me to coach your children for almost 30 years. And I'd like to say thank you to all of my co-workers and my family for allowing me the time to participate in these activities, and their hard work and contributions and their perseverance to allow me to do this. Thank you very much.
History is one great big story. Wonderful characters and interesting plots that create events that through time have shaped the world we live in today. History teachers don't find cure for diseases, but they do cure ignorance by making life more interesting, helping students to understand the abundance of historic references in literature, film, news publications, and even The Simpsons. History teachers neither fly nor design spaceships, but they do help students explore where mankind has been, and they help to explain why we are where we are today. So never underestimate the importance of a great history teacher. And that brings us to Steve Heck, tonight's medal winner. Steve has taught at Upper Dublin High School through the administrations of 8 U.S. presidents. Starting in 1970 with Nixon, Ford, Carter, Reagan, Bush, Clinton, Bush, and Obama. A great storyteller, Steve engages his students and makes the story of history come alive. Just ask his students, and there have been thousands of them. Just ponder for a minute while I go over the list of what he has taught, and you can see the depth of his knowledge. AP American History, European History, AP European History, U.S. Government, Sociology, U.S. History 1, World History, Economics, and World Cultures. I have often said that Steve Heck has probably forgotten more history than most people will ever know. Steve and I taught a couple of evening courses in American history. I had the opportunity to learn from him and to have a first-hand look at why he is so respected and so popular with his students, and why they, as students, achieve so much. Quite simply, he loves his job, and it shows in everything he does, and does he ever do for Upper Dublin. Not only has he taught for 41 years, he was the yearbook advisor for 10 years. He brought the British Exchange program to the high school. He has been the advisor to the International Club, the Chess Club, the Checkers Club, the newspaper, the Procrastinators Club. I don't think they ever met. He was a track coach, and for 30 years he has been advisor to the Quiz Bowl team. A personal story about Steve involves our senior class trip. Several years ago, Mrs. Barbara Stoller started the senior class trip to Disney World. I was fortunate enough to be a chaperone on several of those trips, and I can honestly say, for the seniors that go, it is the trip, the time of their lives. But what about the child who needs help? The child who would not be able to get around so easily when they got there. We had such a student a few years ago, a boy with great physical limitations. At school, Steve was an anchor for this boy, always going out of his way for him. When Steve was asked to go to Disney World and help the child, his immediate response was a very simple, sure. thereby ensuring that that senior boy, just like all the others, did indeed have the time of his life. For 2 different spans of time, Steve has served as Social Studies Department K-12 supervisor, a position that requires a true historian to accomplish all that that position requires, a task he has very successfully performed. His wife Cheryl and his children Leslie and David have great reasons to be very proud of him, not just tonight, but for his very, very successful career. The cost of an AP government book is $109. The cost of a world history textbook is $130. The cost of the wealth of knowledge that Steve has shared with students of Upper Dublin High School over the past 41 years, priceless. Ladies and gentlemen, I have the honor to present a most worthy recipient of the Upper Dublin Medal, Mr. Steve Heck.
I'd just like a show of hands, because of course history teachers are always asking questions. How many of you have been my student or parents of a student in the years past? Raise your hands. Okay, thank you. That's why I love Upper Dublin. It has been wonderful. It is still sinking in that I'm receiving an Upper Dublin medal. It's still sinking in slowly. The previous recipients are people who I've worked with, taught, read about in the newspapers. They are leaders in their fields, the community, and the schools. Each of them has made the world a better place and impacted the lives of hundreds of people. I am humbled to think that people feel that I'm considered worthy of such honor. I came into the field of education with my eyes wide open. No, I don't have good vision with my eyes. My mother was a teacher, started a one-room school in an Indian reservation in Montana. A far cry from the modern technological wonder that is the new Upper Dublin High School where I am teaching today. One aspect of teaching, of which I was somewhat aware when I began, is sometimes called a joy of teaching, or the eureka moment, when a student, or better still, an entire class, suddenly gets it. When they understand what you are hoping that they will learn. It is so much better. It is much more common than you think that it will be. And then you want it to happen again. So you work harder. You listen to other teachers, go to conferences and workshops, read books, magazines, and now listservs and web pages. Sometimes you even steal, other people's ideas to make it happen again. As the years roll past, a good teacher tries new approaches, new materials, and new practices, discarding those that don't work and keeping those that do. In other words, you get better at doing what you do. But this isn't all. You also try to allow the person in each student to develop. Watching an individual develop their personality, their confidence, and their skills leads to another one of the joys of teaching. This may happen in the classroom, on the playing fields, or on the stage, but it does happen. It might not even happen while they are still in school. How many teachers have been in a mall, or a concert, in a restaurant, or at a school function and heard, "Hi, Miss Grumbar. Hey, you look familiar. Didn't you teach biology at Upper Dublin?" Or, "Hey, Mr. Rose, remember me?" And you find yourself talking with an adult who was once 17 years old and in your class. They tell you what they have been up to since they left UD, and you find out that they are doing fine. You also know that you're getting older when they introduce their teenage children. For me, every day in Upper Dublin has been a good day.
Executive Director of the Emory University of Bangalore campuses, and it's my distinct honor to introduce to you the nominees for the Student Leadership Award of the Dublin Meadows program. Student Leadership Awards are presented to the male and female student who is a senior in the Upper Dublin High School class, who have displayed outstanding leadership qualities in the classroom through their involvement in athletics, music, drama, or other schools and community activities. Each year, this is my second year of being on the selection committee, and it's a very difficult process because all the nominees are extremely talented, motivated, and bright young people. And it would be very difficult to make decisions that would not reward the talents and the wisdom of the other members of the selection committee. And I'll read your names just quickly. And just raise your hand so that everybody knows who you are. And I forgot the names. Peter Jacobson, Marty Barrett, Ron Feldman, Elizabeth Hepline, Tony Nichols, Johanna Parkin, Ingrid Gribble, and Wesley Wolf. Now, I would like to read the names of the nominees for the Student Leadership Award. They are in alphabetical order: Danielle Payton, Sarah Hollowell, Bill Kim, Emily Marble, Jake Plaskin, Johanna Press, and Ben Zelsmer. Emily and Ben couldn't make it, but would the nominees please stand up? Very remiss if I did not also ask the parents of these nominees to stand. Thank you. Without the parents' support and motivation and love of learning, they've instilled a sense of values and love of learning for all these students, and I thank them on behalf of the school district and on behalf of the selection committee. So, without further ado, I would like to introduce Patricia Decker to introduce the first one.
I would first like to congratulate Bill Kim for winning the medal, and all of the nominees for outstanding students this year. They're remarkable young people, and all of them fine examples of the type of students that make us at GD so proud. Each has garnered attention and respect from the faculty, and impressed the medal committee by exhibiting strengths in areas of academics, leadership, sports, and community service. But I gotta say it, my girl Sarah has it all. Just today, I was leaving school, and I met a colleague and inquired as to whether she was coming to the medal dinner tonight. I mentioned that I was introducing Sarah, and her response was, "How well? I love that girl. She's such a great kid." That is the kind of response that's typical when Sarah's name comes up. I think for me, that would be enough, that teachers think she's a great kid. What more could a parent want? But that's just it. Sarah is that and so much more. Sarah is bright, and when I say bright, I mean National Merit Scholarship finalist bright, 4.7 cumulative average bright, honor roll every quarter during high school, and honor society member bright. She even got accepted to UNC Chapel Hill. A truly remarkable feat, if you don't know, for an out-of-state student. I got a chance to experience Sarah's academic prowess firsthand in my honors pre-calculus class last year. She's a teacher's dream. She is inquisitive, actively contributes to class discussion, and understands at a conceptual level. She's the kind of student that validates our work. She's persistent, analytical, and loves a good challenge. She was a student that other students sought out for help with difficult problems. And I am pretty sure that I once heard her say that math homework was fun. Sarah is very high profile at Upper Dublin. She's been active in school community throughout her years there and was elected to the position of Secretary of Student Government last school year. She is by nature insightful and creative and was a great resource for new ideas. She's a natural leader, excelling in her ability to delegate responsibility and to maintain a positive atmosphere in stressful situations. We spent many hours together and I saw firsthand her empathy and compassion towards her peers. She has an ability to read people and adapt accordingly, a characteristic that demonstrates a maturity far beyond her years. Sarah was front and center in the SGA fundraising efforts this year, often spending hours after school and on weekends to ensure success. In addition to her participation in the charities of the SGA, Sarah, along with several classmates, planned a dodgeball tournament to raise funds for Age Japan after the recent earthquakes. She also volunteers for Top Soccer, a community-based program for young athletes with disabilities. And then there's Sarah the athlete. I could spend the rest of the night up here with the details, but I'll only hit the highlights. She played soccer at the high school for 3 years and basketball for 4. She is captain of both teams this year and was named the Upper Dublin Scholar Athlete of the Year. She was also chosen to represent Upper Dublin at the William H. Danaher Awards banquet, where she was honored as part of an elite group of seniors from schools throughout the county who excelled in academics, athletics, and community service. The basketball team finished 23rd and 6th this season with Sarah at the helm. She led the team with 39 three-pointers, second highest in the conference. And of course, there was the unbelievable buzzer beater against St. Hubert's to win the game. Her soccer coach, Mr. Topper, holds her in the highest regard. He spoke of Sarah's maturity, humility, tact, and responsible nature. He mentioned that each year the soccer team honors a player with the Players Award, an award for the person who most contributes to the success of the team, both on and off the field. This award represents the highest respect and admiration of the members of her team. Sarah won the award both her junior and senior season. This season, she also won the Coaches Award for her initiative, leadership, and overall dedication to the team. As though that were not enough to keep her busy, she also participates in a variety of other extracurricular activities and plays the guitar. Her friends speak of her storytelling skills, her ease in a crowd, and her ability to get everybody laughing. She was the MC at the recent Wing Bowl at Upper Dublin, and her wit and humor were the topic of many conversations the following day. She has the respect of a large and diverse group of students here at Upper Dublin and was nominated for Homecoming Court this year. Despite her popularity, she remains grounded and true to herself. She is an independent thinker, she says what she thinks, and she defends her position. She embodies the strong, intelligent, sensitive, independent woman that we as educators hope to inspire. She has been remarkably successful here at Upper Dublin, in the classroom, on the playing field, and as a leader in the student community. My congratulations to Steve and Beth for their part in nurturing such an admirable young woman. Tim and Andrew, who aren't here tonight, but are the big brothers, who probably had some part in creating her competitive nature, her strength of character, and her bit of sass. And I mean that only in the most complimentary way. I can't predict what the future might hold, but with people like Sarah and the other winners and nominees out there making it happen, it will surely be something worth waiting for. It's my great pleasure to introduce Ms. Sarah Hall.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Stechter. Good evening. I want to begin by thanking the Medal Planning Committee for organizing this wonderful event, all the sponsors for making it possible, and of course manufacturers for hosting it. Let me start off this speech by saying that I was 5'3" in 6th grade. And as I stand here before you tonight, I'm proud to say that I'm still 5'3". Despite my lack of vertical transformation, I honestly feel like a totally different person now than I was at the moment at which I stopped growing. I've learned a lot in high school. From the great SOHCAHTOA, to the fibers that help our muscles move, to FDR's New Deal, courtesy of Mr. Heck. Some of the information I've learned will be essential to my future, while some, even though every teacher argues to the contrary, will never escape the dark recesses of my mind. I've had unbelievable teachers who have acted as mentors for me throughout my schooling, but some of the most important learning I did stemmed from the choices that I made. Will I read Julius Caesar, or will I use SparkNotes to decipher Shakespeare's esoteric language? Should I try out for the soccer team, even though my only duties will likely be to warm the bench and fill the water before practice? Will I scream until my lungs give out on Spirit Day, or refuse to help decorate the hallway because I am too cool for school? Should I participate in clubs and community service, even though I could be home browsing my Facebook newsfeed? And for the older members of the room, someday you'll know what that means. I chose an active lifestyle, getting involved in as many different things as I possibly could, without having to throw back a 5-hour energy every day. Not only have I gained skills and knowledge in the process, but I've helped myself and hopefully my peers have the best possible high school experience. It was important for me to gain self-confidence on my own, so that I could try new things, believe that I can figure out what Shakespeare's saying, and take the open three-pointer when given the opportunity. Despite this independent learning, I never would have survived high school alone. I cannot tell you how fortunate I am to have such caring and motivating parents, family, friends, teachers, and coaches. In Upper Dublin, I'm surrounded by teachers and classmates that want to be the best person they can be, and help others get there too. I've been impressed time and time again by the intelligence and unique skills that each individual student brings to the table in our school. To be nominated out of a class of outstanding people, and then to be chosen as this year's medal winner from a group of kids whose accomplishments are astounding, is an honor that's hard to express in words. These students are a testament to the opportunities this district provides, whether it be in academics, athletics, activities, or the amazing new facilities. And for the record, the so-called trailer park, it really wasn't that bad. I am grateful for those people that guided me on a path to success in high school, and even more grateful for those that encouraged me to blaze my own trail as well. This fall, I'll be faced with all new questions, all new choices, and even though I'll be the same height upon entering college, my experience in this township has given me the confidence that I am as ready as anyone to face them. Thank you.
The measure of a man is an elusive thing at best, but he excels in the physical, the mental, and the spiritual areas of life. He has valid claim on our honor and respect. Our Upper Dublin Medal male honoree, Bill Kim, has exhibited extraordinary stewardship of his gifts in athletics, academics, and leadership, and is thus on this evening. Bill is recognized as one of the finest football players in the region. Proved itself indispensable to the success of the Cardinal football team in their superb one league American Conference Championship season, accomplishment of which he's justly proud. He has proved that not all smart football players are quarterbacks by winning the Jim Henry Award at the Maxwell Football Club, given to the outstanding scholar athlete in the Tri-State region, even though he's an offensive lineman and linebacker. His physical ability Bill stands among the best. It is my privilege to have Bill as a student in 18th chemistry, which is not a class but a department.
Bill met the challenge in the same way he meets opposing running backs, that is, head on. And excelled in every way, including the Covenant 5 of the AP chemistry test. His infectious enthusiasm and good-natured competitiveness were an inspiration to all in the class. And so it went for every class, and as a result, Bill has the respect of his mentors, his peers, not to mention a well over 4.5 weighted GPA. In his academic accomplishments, Bill stands among the best. Perhaps most importantly, Bill understands leadership and responsibility, and how they work together. Besides his leading role as the captain of the Cardinal football team, he leads by example in the classroom and in the community by means of his excellent relationships to his peers and his community service projects. In service to his fellow man, Bill stands among the best. The Gospel of Luke, chapter 12, verse 48 reads in part that, "For unto whomsoever much is given, of him shall much be required, and to whom men have committed much, of him will they ask the more." There is little doubt that Bill is one to whom much has been given. He has proven himself a good steward and has delivered that which is required of him and much more. And so I'm honored to present to you 2011 Upper Dublin Medal winner.
Thank you, Dr. Price. I want to keep it short and sweet for you guys so we can all get back to some food and drink. You know, standing here, being a high school senior about to graduate and head off to college is like the most surreal experience. It feels like yesterday that I was on the playground to Maple Glen, playing two-hand touch football going down the zip line. Half of me doesn't want to leave the early mornings of high school, while the other half is jumping up and down, ready to zoom out of here and do new things. My memories of Upper Dublin, my home for the past 18 years, has been incredible, and I will take them with me wherever I go. Receiving the Upper Dublin Medal is an extraordinary honor. However, the true award was the nomination itself. All of the other nominees are more than deserving of the medal, and I feel bad for the committee that had picked two of us. You know, if it was me, I think I really would have just picked out of a hat. Because simply being nominated is the highest award a student can achieve. I would like to thank the Upper Dublin community and school district, all my crazy, amazing teachers, Dr. Price, Mr. Eck, Mr. Evkin, all my coaches, my family, my friends, and my girlfriend, and most of all, my parents, who put the utmost faith and trust in me, who I work for every day to repay back and make proud. I love you guys. Thank you.
Talk about a tough act to follow. Anybody else want to come up here? Because I don't want to go after these guys. Congratulations. You guys are amazing. Just amazing. I want to thank you all for coming tonight. I told you it was going to be fabulous, and what can I say? I mean, the people are just spectacular in this township. We are so fortunate to be here, and every year it just gets better and better, and it's a thrill to be here. So stick around afterwards. We're done. Congratulate the winners. Get a chance to talk with them and find out how they fit all this into a 24-hour day. I can't do it. I'm in awe of what you have done. I'd like to thank manufacturers for providing this wonderful venue and for everyone giving us this fabulous evening. Have a great night, and I hope to see you all next time.